Okay, there. Now my voice is still high, but it's not that high. How is it this high? All right, well, I'll just move the mic lower. Problem solved? I feel like that's gonna rub. God, I suck with it. I fucking hate mics. Now I understand why all of those people on TikTok just talking to it like this. It really bugged me, but I understand it now. Okay, that seems better. Camera's not positioned very well, but hey, that's gonna have to live. Time for my accoutrement. Ooh, I even have a bucket here now. I was not here before. I did fuck up the end of my cigar. I believe we were recording. 6400 ISO. See how this feels. I really did screw up the end of this cigar. Well, that's unfortunate. Handmade Nicaragua, New World cigar. Quorum Classic Corona. It's a good size. Okay. Now that we're here, now that we're finally relaxing, I wanted to, I guess, do a check-in on the first week of doing a video every day. So thankfully, like a weekend, I still have lots and lots of ideas. So that part's nice. But it's as much work as I thought it was going to be. I feel like I could definitely be doing a better effort with some of the videos, but I'm also trying to understand that I need to pace myself and develop. So my thought process is kind of start as a beginner and then work my way up. Although I am shooting everything in like 6K and in log, and I'm still, kind of starting from there. But there hasn't been any big video projects that I've looked at yet. But we've also entered another fucking lockdown, so not that's excuse though. I might have to chop off the entire end of this. Man, did I ever screw this up. My cigar cutter is inside. I don't want to do it with a razor blade. All right, we'll see. The biggest thing that it's done though is it's cut out a lot of other things. So very similar to how, and I know somebody's going to get mad at this, that having children will make you rearrange what you think is important. This has done that. Like I've played video games once this week, which for me, I would probably say I'd play about 30 minutes a day. Probably, yeah, maybe 45 minutes. That was kind of my like escape. Obviously sitting at the computer, it's really easy just to be like, oh, let's flick on Apex Legends. Which, if you are in Apex Legends, there's my gamer tag. I keep forgetting my password, leave me alone. But that's been basically cut out. Although last night I did try and film something with Xander playing video games because he is quite good at Apex. And being only 8, I mean, I've had this weird conundrum where like, I'm not entirely sure how far do I push that? Like he is good at video games, but he's 8 years old. So it's like that weird balance of like, I want him to be active, but he is still active. I don't know. It's a weird parenting conundrum, but we did shoot like an entire video last night, but it didn't really turn into anything. I wanted to get a win with him, just him and I. But because I did not play all week, I was pretty rusty. So we spent about an hour of basically just like warming up and getting into the groove. And then, after that, it was like, I don't know, we had like another 30 minutes, 40 minutes before I was just worn out. I can't play video games as long as I used to anymore. Side note, they should create a plugin for Premiere that just immediately cuts any silence in a video. If there's no talking, it should just like cut. I wonder if there is. There's got to be one out there. And if there is, I'm going to use it and make these a lot easier because I would do more of these. So honestly, it's the cutting out the middle part that kind of sucks. It's very tedious. But yeah, the first week has gone well. I want to go do more things. I want to start to have reasons to make content, if that makes sense. I got a lot that I want to get off my chest, which I know is going to take up the first little bit. Some cool stuff with business. Some of it I kind of have to get clearance from people before I can talk about it. Others are just like company stuff. I kind of want to talk about how we as a company operate because it's not big but it's very becoming it's quickly becoming a lot more organized, which I'm super stoked about because I'm not, believe it or not, like obviously if you see my garage right now, it's not organized, it's messy. My bedroom is not the cleanest place in the world, but like my office most of the time I keep very, very tidy. So it's interesting how my personal life and my work life differ in that way, which is kind of cool. I'm happy, but I'm glad that it's that way and not the other way around. Can you imagine being like super messy at work, but like hyper organized at home? Cigar's kind of nice. What is this? Quorum Nicaragua. Wait, I already said that. I'm gonna have to look this up. But yeah, I want to go on a couple more adventures. There's a trip that I might be able to take in February that I'm looking forward to if all plays out. I'd very much like to take that trip. I can't talk about that quite yet, but it's down to Florida. I'm supposed to head back up. What happened? Why are you flashing? Why are you flashing at me? Oh, I think it's flashing because of the time. Oh, that's interesting. So like single flashes. I'm still learning this camera, and that's something else I want to talk about. This S1H has been fantastic. Like it was not cheap, but owning it now makes me want to use it more, which is kind of cool. And that's part of the reason this project came around. I mean, I know I talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but my filming and editing skills were super rough, and it's upsetting. It's definitely upsetting in that regard because I spent a lot of time getting okay at them. It was never really great, honestly. I'd never felt like, and once again, it's a time thing, but I never felt like I got amazing at editing or filming. I have a very good working knowledge of both. But there's definitely people who are either far more efficient, which I've seen this year, especially working on all the Electrify Expo stuff. I got to sit next to and kind of look over the shoulder of some seriously fantastic editors, as well as videographers. So that was very humbling because I thought I was good, but then working with people who have worked on like actual TV shows and actual movies and edited like things that you've seen in a theater was super neat and definitely made me change my perspective. It's nice to be humbled. It's very, very nice to be humbled. It's something that I welcome as much as possible. I try to take opportunities to find people that are just significantly better at things than I am and just be like, okay, like fuck what I know. And I don't know, maybe it's just something that everyone can do a little bit more often. I gotta wait and see if this switches cards, what happens. Okay, cool. Let me go get my cigar again. Honestly, I gotta, you know what? That's something I gotta move. I don't even know where I left off, but I filled a memory card. So cool of Lumix though to put in a red light that blinks when your memory card's full. So when you're recording, it's fine. I also flipped the screen back in. I don't know if you can tell, but like when the screen's there, I look at it a lot, which is just off to the side, which I'm sure is kind of weird to people. But yeah, it's been good. There's definitely some more stuff I want to talk about. It's weird. I always feel like I'm a person who I don't really give a shit what people think of me, but I think everybody has that no matter what they say. And sometimes the people who want you to think you don't give a shit about them actually are the ones who do. I'm not saying that is my case, but like obviously I've been somebody who seeks attention for most of my life if you haven't known me. And I mean, with like crazy hair, I did magic for a long time, and that's very attention seeking. I'm usually the person who will lead conversations and definitely try to be the funny or entertaining person in any situation. But I mean, that all aside, yeah, there's definitely some more things that I want to do, but I mean, legality wise, they're questionable. So I kind of have to be careful with that as well. Plus, like, I think I would care. I don't care what people would think unless it affects my business. And now my business is more than just me. So like, okay, here's a great example. My wife likes to dye her hair a lot. And I used to dye my hair all the time. And she is going to be dyeing her hair tomorrow. I believe it's going to be like black and lime green, which is sick. And I'm super excited for it. And she asked me if I wanted to dye mine. And I said no. I had every opportunity to do it. Me 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago, all of that entire timeline, up until realistically the last 5 years, would have been all over that. And part of me is like, hey, that's definitely growing up is not wanting to do those things. But I'm also like super depressed that I can't just do that. And now knowing that I questioned it and like hesitated, I don't want to do it now because of that. Like, no, there was a hesitation there, which means I truly don't actually want to do it. So ultimately that's the reason why I'm probably not going to do it. Same thing like a mohawk. I would love to have a mohawk back. And I might do it, but like, once again, I have to have some semblance to understand that people are not going to take me as seriously if I have a mohawk. It's great for gaining that attention, being memorable, but there is a point where people are not going to take me as seriously. And I've been in situations in the last year where I need to be taken very seriously. I don't have to get into all the details, but I've also had meetings with very high up execs. And what's cool is like these execs are definitely getting younger because, you know, my generation is now getting into positions of power. They're upper management in a lot of companies. They're business owners that have been in business for probably anywhere between 10, you know, I would say in the long end, 10 years, but more than likely within 5. So that part's definitely cool, but it's still, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. It's definitely a hesitation because I'm like, hey, I really want to do this stuff for me and it'd be fun and I like it and I miss having that. I feel youthful again. But part of me is also torn up and been like, hey, like you're over 30 now. You have a business. You've got all this shit. You've got people that depend on you being taken seriously. So are you going to put all of that at risk for attention? Is really what it comes down to. I mean, if we really boil it all down, that's what it comes down to. I really got off the rails in that one. I'm sorry, but I want to keep that in. I think that's important. And I have fucked this cigar, and I feel so bad because I'm enjoying it, but I hit the outside wrapper when I can't remember what I was doing, but you know what I should do is like slide the label down or something. So they go out. Fuck. I am the worst cigar smoker in the world. I want to enjoy them more, though. I do enjoy it. You're fucking with me right now, right? So this is a thing that's happening right now. This is probably terrible for me. Is it toxic? Does it say poisonous? It doesn't necessarily say poisonous on the label. Should probably look that up. Anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that. So how is week 1 going? It's going well. It's going well. I like it. I'm excited for week 2. I want to put together a bit more of a plan. I want to bulk shoot some content. I want to use more opportunities to shoot multiple content. Like what I might try and do is a cigar review on this. Because why not? I'm here. I have it. I don't know much about cigars, so I'll do a little bit of reading about it. But I think that'd be cool. Let me know if you guys want to see a cigar review on this. It is a Quorum handmade. So yeah, maybe I'll have to get some photos of it. Shit, you know what I'm going to do right after this? I'm going to take some cool photos of this in a workplace setting because that'll be fun. So yes, week 1 went well. Sorry for digressing and venting there, but it felt good to get that kind of, I am holding this completely backwards. God, I suck. I'm going to wrap this up. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming this is a video. So yeah, thank you for checking in. This is probably going to be for the people who are following along. This is my checkup. Maybe I'll do one of these once a week. This is probably not something that's going to go big on YouTube, but whatever. This is for the people who are actually following. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming on this journey. I know my buddy Dave's watching. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun project. So honestly though, seriously, if you're here, if you made it to this point, please just take a second, go to the comments, leave me something, an idea, something you want to see, what you like, what you don't like. I like this opinion. I want to know, I actually legitimately want to know, if you've made it this far in this video, I legitimately want to know your thoughts on this, on what you think I should do, what you like, what you don't like. Just please tell me. Because if you made it this far in this video, at this point, I mean, I would consider you a pretty cool person. I would consider you a friend. I realistically, the only people that are watching this at this point in time in this journey, this far into this fucking ridiculous video, is somebody who actually enjoys this entertainment. So I want to say a heartfelt thank you. Actually, legitimately mean that thank you. And please let me know what you want to see, because you are as a part of this now as I am. Hopefully you stick around, and I'm going to go shoot some photos of this fucking cigar, because why not?